Hi, Kristen.
Hey.
Hey, that's great to talk to you. I've been following your career since you were just a little kid, of course, when you did Panic Room, which I absolutely love. It's one of my favorite movies, and you're great in it. So I guess I'm going to talk to you about Clouds of Sils Maria, which you made quite a while ago, right? Because it was playing in Cannes last year.
Yeah, it was a couple years ago now.
Yeah, it was a couple of years ago. So, and now you're doing press here, so that must be kind of crazy for you a little bit.
Yeah, it's bizarre. It's been a little sporadic bouts of doing press for this movie, but like for a really long time. So like I can't believe we're still talking about it. It's still not out here.
Right. It's not here. I think it's incredible. One of the few films that I've seen that really sort of delves into the way women kind of talk to each other and the way that they have very complicated relationships with each other. And I know we're supposed to just keep it on this movie, but I had also seen you in Still Alice, and I would, comparing for me, the three movies, Panic Room, Still Alice, and Sils Maria, where you are in these relationships with kind of mother figures, and an actual mother in Still Alice, but and Panic Room, but then in Sils Maria, it's more like she's, kind of the older mother figure, but there's a lot more complexity going on, and the characters you play in both films are so different. And I just wondered if you could talk a little bit about I don't know, the approaches. I felt a more kind of emotional pull in Still Alice, which really affected me in profound ways. It's a very sad and really moving performance by you in that. And just talk a little bit about the differences between those movies and what you drew upon for your character for Sils Maria.
Yeah, I think you're right. There are really layered and sort of like really complex conversation and dynamics that can happen between two women. That it's always really interesting when it's explored on screen, especially in a way that's like completely indulgent, which I think Clouds of Sils Maria is not in a way that not in a way that criticizes it in any way, but literally, like, I just think it's rare for people to give things time like that, to have two women in a room in a movie, like, for, basically watching them speak to each other for an hour and a half.
Right.
And that's rare, that's, like, not often explored. Anyway, so, like, for me, those two parts, I mean, especially, and in the way that I relate to both of those women, so different. I think, if anything, I'm kind of Juliet. I'm a pseudo. I take on so many different roles in her life. I think, as Valentine, I think that she is a bit of a mother figure for Maria. I think that she's a friend, a sister, like a confidant, a coworker. I think that they have like these weird crushes on each other. I think they have these like just sort of. They're just taken in a way that they can't define, and so it's like, it's frustrating. We want to label everything so we can understand it, and like, they live in this like charged but completely ambiguous, tense creative environment, and I think like I've been there, and like. I just thought that was like so true to what it feels like to put a project together and figure out why you're doing it and who you're doing it with. If you sometimes you have differing opinions, and it's like you're only usually drawn to something that you really like because there are traces of questions in you and in your life that you find in it, and so it becomes all very like all encompassing. And so that's for me what the movie is about. And then with Still Alice, I think, when we were rehearsing, me and Julianne were always saying, like, we rehearsed for about an hour one day before we started shooting. So it was literally like, we sat down going, well, what do we need to do? What do we need to talk about? I have a mom. That's what she always said after the fact. She's being like, so what kind of rehearsal did you do? It was like, well, she has a mom. She knows what it would feel like. And and it wasn't hard. It was definitely not hard for me to view her. You know, there are times I love my mother. Like, I have a big sister with my mom. But there are times where I wish Julianne was my mom. Yeah. And, like, she, not to replace my own mother, but, like, just in addition to.
Right.
And so that wasn't, you know, it wasn't hard. And it was also, my biggest thing for her was making sure that their relationship and whatever tension went along with it was just so completely normal and not like, you know, I didn't want to play the angsty black sheep of the family. It was like, you know, that ultimately is able to step up to the plate. And it really, like, it was important for us to just be like, she has a daughter too. That's like, you know, she has two kids, and so like, just to make that not cliche, just to make that, because ultimately it's the most rewarding thing in the movie, and so to do like a really genuine portrait of a mother-daughter and not have it be like, oh, the tension that they must overcome. It's like, no, they just don't really know each other that well, and like that little period of life is accelerated because of this like tragic, you know,
Oh, I thought that came through so clearly, especially with that urgency of having to, you know, be with her right then and there before she was about to disappear. It just really came through. You know, you bring up the sexual tension in Clouds, and I really felt that. I was a little uncomfortable, actually, because I was thinking, there's a lot of sexual tension here. Where is that coming from? Like, they're not supposed to really have that, right? But but it's there, and it's interesting because it all comes full circle by the end, because it's like this weird play within a play, and in the play, the two women are younger, older, and attracted to each other, I think, right? And then, and then in real life, you know, when she just disappears out of Juliet's life like that. And I was wondering, you know, why do you think? And it's almost like she wasn't there, you know, at all. And is it because that the Maria character was just so much the center of everything, and that she really was sort of invisible being with her? And then it flips, of course, because when she's around Chloe Moretz, then she becomes more invisible. Just wonder what you thought about that.
Yeah, I think the leaving is kind of about proving a point that couldn't be heard by her, and so she needs to be shown. Sort of like, you know, Juliet, she does not listen to a word I say. I mean, she hears it for a second, and then she fucking forgets it intentionally.
Right.
And so I think they just sort of reach a boiling point, and it's genuinely, they're not getting anything from each other anymore, and what's left is frustration. And so she does something drastic to prove a point, something that she's been trying to sort of kind of, and through readings of the play and interpretations of the play, trying to say to her the whole movie. And so it's like shocking. It's funny for me to look at like Juliet's reaction to it. She still doesn't get it.
Yeah, right.
She still looks behind her and is like, what? And it's like, wow.
That's incredible. There's so many layers in that story.
Sorry to interrupt, but we have time for about one more question.
Oh, all right. Oh, God. Okay. So you say in that movie, there's a great line you have where you say, because you know me, I'm 50 years old and you're young, and I spent a lot of my time writing about women and aging out of the business and stuff like that. And you have this great moment where you say, you know, it's an object. The text is an object, and you see it differently from different perspectives. And I think it's the first time that I really thought about that. And I just like you to talk a little bit about your place right now, and, you know, thinking about kind of what it's going to be like to move ahead. I don't know, something on that with age and women and, you know, Hollywood.
Yeah, I think, like, hopefully, like, looking at like desire as an object.
Yeah.
And, you know, ambition as an object, and how I really hope that with my view of my own ambition and like, you know, needs and wants through my work, like, I hope that my view of of those things change along with me. Whereas I think the problem that people run into is when you stay the same and you change, you're not able to acknowledge who you are at a given moment in your life. I've always been, I mean, I'm lucky as fuck, and so I've always been pretty good at that. It's been easy for me. But I really don't see myself. I don't see myself. I'm not so attached. Honestly, I think what I'm most attached to is the feeling of making something is really like a drug, and it's in this position interesting because like so much goes along with it. You can't just do it on your own. Obviously, that's like a whole thing that actors always talk about. It's like, yeah, I love it. You can't do it alone. Like,
right.
You can't just. I can't go into my garage like a painter and like go make a movie. You know what I mean? It's like, especially now that I've like tasted it at this level.
Right.
But I don't know. I think that I'm. I don't fear getting older. I don't fear losing something. I don't hold my career I don't look at it as this thing that needs to be preserved and maintained. I just feel like it's such a natural thing. Like every project feels. When I don't have a job, I can't conceive of doing another movie. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, the right one pops up. You know what I mean? So it's like if it stops, I would find something else to do. And I do. Yeah. Hopefully I don't turn 30 and go, actually, wait, no,
I don't think you will. I do not. Listen, congratulations on the Ang Lee movie. Happy birthday in a week from your fans. They wanted me to say that. And bless you for taking care of animals the way you do. And you're just fantastic. And good luck in the future. So nice talking with you, darling. All right, bye.
Thank you.
Bye.